So I promised a video on Facebook talking about where to get cheap gear and what kind of gear I thought you need. This is just a portion of my gear. I got my little sister filming, so if the camera's kind of shaky or whatever, we apologize for that. I got helmets, body armor, and as you can see, a portion of the magazines. Braylee and I spent about an hour just labeling magazines today, which is important. So that'd be one of the first things I cover. Grabagun.com has been one of the cheapest places that I could see to buy magazines. They're usually a couple bucks cheaper than anywhere else, and they have a large variety of magazines, OEM and aftermarket. So for Glock, you like Magpul, ETS, and think Pro Mag and all that. Brownells is also a great place to get all the gear that you'll see out here today. Something about the magazines, just a quick tip, is to label them, the number of the magazines. This is magazine 22. Use paint. Usually Sharpie can wear off. I've had it come off of my magazines. The paint will stick a little bit longer. And make sure you put your name on it, because later on I'm going to talk to you about training, which is probably more important than the guns and the gear itself. Without training, most of this equipment's useless. So before you buy anything else, I would recommend training, gun, then the gear. With that being said, Tactical Rifleman is a training company I've been to that I really like. They have a good YouTube channel. Tactical Response is one. The benefit to following these channels is not only that you get small snippets of information and tips, because YouTube videos are minimal training value, but you do get some education out of it. But one of the benefits is they all have discount codes with these different companies, like Safe Life Defense, which is a body armor company. Most of you know I've been a police officer for a while. I actually wore this body armor on duty, so I trust the equipment. Okay, I'm not showing anything I wouldn't use. I've used some of this equipment at work, so I trust my life to it. This is a Safe Life Defense Level 3A Plus carrier with Level 4 in conjunction with rifle plates, and then their tactical carrier. It's comfortable body armor. Tactical Rifleman, I believe, has a discount code to this. Very comfortable. This is a tactical carrier, so it comes with the MOLLE on it. You could put anything on here, any type of magazine carrier. I like G-code myself, but there's plenty of other ones. For law enforcement officers, there's usually discounts for all these companies. So all my cops out there, brothers in blue, you can get discounts on almost all this equipment. This is a G-code, like rapid response mini chest rig. Law enforcement discount on this, saved me a bunch of money. Safe Life Defense, I use the Tactical Rifleman code, save money on that. This is an AR-500. I think it's a Testudo Gen 2, which I don't know if they make this exact carrier anymore, but they have a bunch of carriers. It came with the option to throw on the mag pouches. This is level 4 plates in here. It's also comfortable, easy to throw on. It is kind of thick with these. I didn't get steel plates, so these are like the ceramic polyurethane kind of stuff, so they are a little bit thicker, but it saves you a little bit of weight. But it is easy to throw into the trunk or whatever you're going to do with it. Easy to wear with wraparound MOLLE, and you could throw side armor in it as well. They offer discount codes also, save you a little bit of money. These are Walker Electronic Ear Pro. So essentially it deletes gunshot noises, and you could amplify other noises, which you could see multiple benefits with. If you've never fired a weapon in any indoor environment or even a range that's walled off, you haven't shot anything that's going to ruin your ears. So I recommend that you get some Ear Pro. Inside your house for home defense, you could hang this on your AR or next to your home defense pistol in a drawer. Throw these on real quick. Turn it all the way up. You get more than 1 times amplification of hearing. So you may be able to hear what's going on in the house better, and it'll help you save your ears if you had to use your firearm in defense. I have one in my bedroom, I have one in the car, and then I have one with all my range equipment. So if I had to, pull my gun out of my car, or I thought I was going to use it in the car and I had any time to prep, or at home at night, whatever the situation is, I have Ear Pro that I could throw on, save my hearing, and it'll amplify to help me get the advantage in those situations. I recommend Safariland holsters. You can get these from a lot of distributors. If you actually buy it from Safariland, the wait time's crazy, like 6 to 8 weeks. I get their quick detach mount, and the reason I do that is I have a lot of guns, and with that I have a lot of holsters. So depending on what I'm doing, if I want to shoot one gun at a class or whatever my situation is, I could quickly throw it on and take it off. Or if I'm going to use it at work, I could take my work holster, snap it in there. I could throw it on any belt, take this off, put it on my duty belt, mount it. If you have one of the mounts mounted into a wall, into a car, into a drawer, whatever your situation is, easy snap in, easy snap out. So that's a good piece of kit to have that has multiple uses for you. Once again, I do want to emphasize, though, training is important. I learned a lot of the things I needed from going to classes or talking with trainers. And yes, some of that was through my law enforcement connections, that I've got free classes or I've went to classes with other law enforcement officers and through my department. But a lot of training I've also went to on my own, and I've sought it out on my own. So it's important you do that. For those that don't know, this is a bump helmet, which is not ballistic. So this would be for, crashes, rock climbing. There's nothing super tactical about this other than it's set up similar to my ballistic helmet. Anybody could buy this. Once again, it's good to have for protecting your skull. Bump would indicate, against bumps, falls, small, explosions where you might hit your head against something, things like that. This will not offer you any ballistic protection at all. So keep that in mind if you buy a bump helmet. Optics Planet is where I got my helmets from, and I got a good rate on it. I checked versus the website, the manufacturer that makes them, which these are Team Wendy. Optics Planet saved me quite a bit of money. I think I spent maybe $200 on this helmet. This one was quite a bit more, maybe $1,200. This has got it's a ballistic helmet with a cover, an Enforce light on it. And I got it in black just in case I used it at work, and then I threw this on to have. If you don't know this, obviously black does not occur in nature. So if you plan on doing any of this outside official capacity, or it's for hunting, or maybe you're in a unit or a police department that will allow camo, I recommend you do camo. You want to have natural colors on all your stuff. That's why a lot of my magazines for my rifles are painted, or they're brown or green, whatever. I have black ones, once again, in case I end up using them for work, to be within the code, but ideally get something camo. My stuff's flat dark earth and green and all that, like I said. Optics Planet does offer good rates, though, when you're looking for gear. So that's something important. I'll go through some prices on some things. The Safe Life Defense body armor is one of my more expensive pieces of kit, actually only second to the helmet. When I got the level 3A plus soft body armor, which I think will do all the way up to 44 mag, and it'll also do armor penetrating 9 mils. I think it's taser, slash, and stab proof as well, just the soft body armor. Then I got their level 4 in conjunction with plates that slip right in the top here, as you can see. And that makes it level 4, so it'll do all the way up to, I believe it's 30-06 armor penetrator rounds. Depending on what you're doing and what you think you might encounter, this could be overkill, obviously. A lot of police departments just do level 2 body armor, which will protect you against pistol rounds. Some police departments have level 3 or higher. Some guys, police officers and other people, opt to run the plates that can do armor protection. It's a good option to have, and it's not that much more. I think the armor itself cost me roughly $700, which I think is obviously expensive. However, I did that before I got the discount. I used the discounts actually on the carrier itself before I knew about the discount for the armor. So you could save some money. The plates cost me, I don't know, maybe $150 a piece. I got them a couple years ago now, and they've held up well and everything, so I am happy with it. It's a good investment. Once you buy it, there is an expiration date on body armor. It's about 5 years. It's argued if you take care of your armor, it's kept dry and it's kept in relatively decent conditions, more than likely, and disclaimer, I'm not a professional on this, so take this as you will, but more than likely the body armor will last quite a length past the 5 years. So it's not like you're going to be out buying body armor $1,000, which is what this cost me, every 5 years or something. And even if you did, if you think about that, That's a small investment over 5 years just to have, especially depending profession orienting, whether you're security, military, or law enforcement. If your department does not provide you, which they're supposed to by law, by the way, or it takes them a long time, which I had at my previous department, which is why I purchased this body armor. My last department took roughly a year to get me body armor, so I bought my own, and this was the cost for that. So depending, like I was getting to, depending on what you're doing, depends on what kind of kit you need. So you can actually save money, spend less money than what I spent on some of this. I chose to go for the higher end, like level 4, the most protection. How many guys are walking around with 30-06 armor penetrators? Next to none. So that being said, I might have overkill here, but this is what I wanted to buy and this is what I wanted to have. I had the money to do it. I've been a police officer, as most of you know. I don't make a lot of money. I made more money at my last department. I left that to come to a new department for better training. And by doing that, I cut my salary, and I'm still able. I bought these helmets, which was, like I said, about $1,200 and like $200, somewhere in that area, from Optics Planet on a cop's salary. I don't have any kids. I got a girlfriend and no wife, obviously. So with that being said, I may have more money than people who have a bunch of kids and stuff. But if you save up, if your priority is protection, defense, gear for your family, you will spend money on what's a priority. I could buy a brand new, real nice car. I'd choose to drive a car that I've had for a couple years. I could go out and buy all new clothes. I choose not to do that. So that being said, I like shooting, I like training, and I like having the gear. I'm a gear guy. So that being said, I put my money where the priorities are. So that's something to think about for you. I think this cost me, around $700. I may have said earlier, for 2 level 4 plates, the carrier, and then the pouches. Just so you know, I am in the process of upgrading my armor. I've ordered a bunch of G-code soft shell scorpion pouches, which are these. They have great retention, and they've worked really well for me. I have them on my battle belt here, which is also G-code. I have their pistol and rifle pouches. So I'm getting those to throw. I'm going to take off these, I think they're high speed gear pouches. I'm taking these off, and I'm going to run rifle pouches on the sides on this, and then I'm going to run rifle pouches on the front of this armor. So this can kind of be like a kit I was going to use more. This will carry more armor based on how I'm going to set it up. So this could be kind of like a kit I could use for some kind of open tactical environment out in the open. And this would be more of like a direct action situation. Like I know exactly what I'm doing. So something more for work. Like maybe I'm going to be going into a building and I don't want a bunch of stuff on my sides hanging me up on doors or on walls, or I'm getting in and out of a car and I don't want to be getting hung up on my sides with equipment. So this will be more of like an entry, like a breaching style vest. And I don't do a lot of that, but that's what it'll be set up for. Discounts vary. I know Optics Planet also sends out a discount code every time you buy from them, so the next time you can save even more money. Ammunition, I don't have any out here, but I do have a very large stockpile of ammunition that I continue to try to grow. I'm not some kind of nut that is worrying about doomsday or anything, although I do think trouble's on the horizon, so prepare for election time. But that being said, I do like to have ammo. The reason being, I go to the range a lot. So that being said, don't want to go to the store. I want to be able to walk, because you never know what's in the store, especially now during these times with the, some peaceful protests, some rioting, and the coronavirus, economic uncertainty and political uncertainty and all that. You maybe can't go to the store and find the ammo you want. A lot of stores are taking left-leaning policies because they think it'll make them money, and that's the only reason. They do not believe in a lot of the stuff they're saying. But that being said, you may not be able to go into a store and get ammo off the shelves. So you can't train easily. You can't exercise your Second Amendment rights easily. So I can walk, literally, I'm not going to tell you where I store my ammo, but where I store my ammo, and grab as much as I need. I have a buddy I go shooting with pretty frequently. Sometimes I'll give him some ammo out of my stash, and it's real easy for me to just walk in there, grab ammo from there, go to my other location, grab ammo from there. And I have it all there. I don't have to worry about running out. I don't need to worry about going to the store. I don't need to worry about, like a lot of you probably are, ammo now being double the cost it was than just a couple months ago. Some of you know ammo went from like maybe 20 cents a round to 50 cents a round for 9mm, and AR is getting up there like 223, 556, etc. So that's something to keep in mind. I've been saying for a long time to people, buy ammo, buy these standard capacity magazines that the crazies of our society call high capacity. Buy them now, because depending on what happens with this election could decide if next year you'll even be able to get some of these items. And that being said, I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. Firearms are like fire extinguishers, okay? So is body armor. It's like a seatbelt in a car, etc. You'd rather just have it, okay? You don't have to have it out. I keep all this stuff pretty much locked away. It's not out all the time. I carry a gun every day. I carry it with me all the time, just like my cell phone. So for me, it's not that big a deal, okay? Just make sure you get the stuff, because I'd hate to see things happen and people need things and our rights been trampled on and you not have access to it. So get it while you can. Grab a Gun. Last time I bought from them, I was able to get a large haul of magazines from Grab a Gun. I paid a decent price, but I paid cheaper than if I bought them directly from the companies or I bought them from the gun store. I saved, like I said, a couple bucks a magazine, which goes a long way, and it can double your stash depending on. Let's say you say, I'm going to spend $200. That's all I've saved up over the past month or whatever, 2 months, and I'm going to spend $200 on magazines. Well, if you save a couple bucks each magazine, you could buy a couple more magazines. So think about that. For you, those who don't know, magazines are the most likely part of a semi-automatic weapon to fail on you. So that being said, you label them so you know how many you have, you know which one you're on, and if it's damaged, oh, I know, okay. So I get a hang up or whatever, failure to feed, okay, it's 22. Drop it, reload, throw a new one in. We'll check on 22 later. Maybe it needs cleaned, maybe it needs replaced. We'll check it out. But that's one of the reasons you label, okay? And that's a reason you have multiple magazines, which the liberals don't understand, because they don't actually exercise their rights or use their firearms. If you're a police officer, reach out to G-Code via their support email. They'll ask you to send your credentials. Very law enforcement friendly. They're super easy to work with. They say it'll take like 48 hours or whatever to get back to you on your discount. It took me 15 minutes. I sent them an email, went to the bathroom, went and got something to eat, walked back in. Boom, I got an email with a discount code. It's 15%. They changed our code monthly. So that being said, you already sent them your credentials. It's another month. Reach out to them. They'll give you a new code. Some of this stuff is expensive, and you maybe just want to shop around, see what your price is going to be with the discount, and then save up and come later. So that's a nice feature that G-Code has, that you could just email them again. They'll have your stuff on file and shoot you a new discount code. So all that said, if you guys actually want specific reviews on any of this stuff or how to use it, how to set it up, there's certain ways body armor is supposed to be placed and sitting on your body. I could do videos on that. Maintenance on magazines. I can get specific into any of this equipment. I can get specific into ammo storage, guns, maintenance. If you guys want more information on any in particular product or facet of the discussion today, I'd be happy to do that. And I can help point you in the direction of even more competent people that can, get you up and running even quicker probably than I could. Just keep in mind, the way the world's going today, it is better to be prepared than not. And a lot of people are finding themselves in a situation where they're scared and they're confused and they don't know where their future and, more importantly, their children and loved ones' future is going to be. So that being said, try to get this stuff now. You're running out of time. Thank you very much.